So glad you're streaming with us on this Thursday. Well, harsh attacks coming out the true frontrunner last night as the 4 Republican presidential hopefuls took the stage in Alabama for one last chance to rally the vote before the Iowa caucuses. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley taking the brunt of the blows as she gains momentum in the polls and brings in more key endorsements.
And she will cave to the donor. She will not stand up for you.
15 seconds, Ambassador.
First of all, he's mad because those Wall Street donors used to support him, and now they support me.
Our Deputy Political Director, Averi Harper, watching it all as well. So, Averi, Nikki Haley getting knocked around, but what do you make of Chris Christie actually coming to her defense within that debate?
Right. I think when we look at Nikki Haley receiving most of the attacks last night, it's really a function of the fact that she has gained some momentum. She's gotten a high-profile endorsement. She has been having an uptick in some of the polls. And so I think that it should have been expected for her to bear the brunt of all the attacks last night from the other candidates. But I do think it was a notable moment when Chris Christie stood up for Nikki Haley, because some of the attacks that she has been getting, primarily from Vivek Ramaswamy, have been quite personal. Last debate, we saw Ramaswamy attack her motherhood. This time, we saw him attack her intelligence. And so it was interesting to see Chris Christie stand up for her. But I also think when we look at the way that Nikki Haley has handled some of these attacks, I think the fact that she refused to sort of engage with Ramaswamy on some of those attacks, especially the most personal ones, was interesting. I also think it was remarkable when she said, calling attention to the fact that she was the only woman on the stage, "Thanks, fellas, for all the attention."
It's a great way to turn it around, isn't it?
Definitely.
Speaking of Chris Christie, Averi, you know, he was the only candidate, and he pretty much has been the only candidate, to attack the clear frontrunner, Donald Trump. He got booed for it this time around. Do you really think voters care?
Right. I think if you were an anti-Trump Republican, that sort of statement would have been attractive to you last night. That would have been something that you would have liked to see. But we know that within this current Republican Party, being anti-Trump is not popular. So it wasn't surprising when I heard the boos come from the debate auditorium. It is not necessarily going to be something that is going to garner Christie much support with folks who support Donald Trump. And we know that when you look at recent polling, that former President Trump is far out ahead of every single one of these candidates that were on the stage last night. And I think that's why we saw the other candidates who were on the stage, when they were asked about former President Trump, they deflected when they were asked that question.
Are you surprised that gun reform and the shooting that happened yesterday at the university in Las Vegas, that neither came up last night?
Right. Right as those candidates were taking the stage, there was an investigation unfolding on the campus of UNLV. And there was a discussion, I think, to be had about gun reform more broadly. But that is not what happened from the debate stage last night. I don't know if that reflects an unfortunate familiarity that we have with these sorts of incidents that are happening all too often. But I can tell you where the candidates stand on gun reform. I know that Chris Christie, he has voiced support for federal legislation that would provide states funding to implement red flag laws. Nikki Haley has voiced distrust of red flag laws. Vivek Ramaswamy thinks that there's more to be done on mental health, that guns aren't necessarily the issue. And then Ron DeSantis passed a concealed carry without a permit legislation in his home state of Florida. And so I definitely think there was a discussion to be had. I think it was unfortunate that it didn't happen from the stage last night.
Averi Harper, good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.